And I think that Dubai is the best place on the planet to date.
Meet Christiana Maxion, the Dubai matchmaker for the uber wealthy.
You cannot get an appointment with me for less than 100,000 US.
Wow.
With the world's largest matchmaking database, Christiana is dedicated to creating long-lasting human connections.
In this day and age, people have become disposable.
Learn the best dating advice straight from the expert.
Divorce is a lot more expensive.
I love how you're so open-minded. People, I think they shy away from saying that they're single.
Tell all of your friends that you're single. Age, height, and nationality are not factors of compatibility. Most men are looking for three things.
Okay.
And we call it the three Fs. Fuck, and
Welcome to Chat GRG. Today we have the lovely Christiana Maxion, who is Dubai's elite matchmaker for uber wealthy men. Welcome to the show, Christiana.
oh my gosh, thank you guys for having me.
I'm going to jump right into it.
Go.
For all the female listeners out there, how do they get on your database?
Easy peasy. It is free for all women to join. Please, ChristianaMaxion.com. You can fill out a profile, and I tell everybody what age, doesn't matter your age, your ethnicity, your religion, please join, because we have clients that literally range from age 24 to 64. And they're all looking for different types of women, different types of relationships. So yeah, jump in.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story? Because I know you were in corporate and then you started an Instagram page that kind of got you in trouble.
Yeah. So I'll do a fast forward through it. I started my career as an athlete, went into finance, decided finance wasn't for me. And I actually went into education because as an athlete, I coached most of my life. So I worked a lot with children. I was teaching first grade and kindergarten in the South Bronx. I fell in love with a boy who was living in Abu Dhabi. And then I moved over to the UAE in 2016. I actually started as a KG1 teacher. And I think about that progression, from 2016 especially to now, right? 8 years later, 9 years later, just all the changes that I made in my career. And so started in the classroom teaching 3- and 4-year-olds, little babies. Loved it so much. But the UAE is a place where you really get promoted based on merit rather than longevity versus in the States, right? In education, it's kind of quote unquote archaic industry in the sense that you don't get promoted unless you've done 25 plus years time.
That's the same with Australia. Here it's completely fast forward.
Completely.
In your career.
If you take action and you put forth your hand, right? Hey, I'll do it. You really get recognized for that. So I became a national teacher trainer, a published author, and also a leader in a school all before the age of 29. I would have had to wait till I was 49 if I was in New York. And I actually ended up moving up to Dubai in 2019, right before the pandemic. And in 2020, when most of us were home, especially during lockdown and in schools, right? Nobody was going into schools because it was the mandate. And I just had more time on my hands. Mm-hmm. And I'm a person, I need to do 1,000 different things. Okay. Even one, I was a leader in a school. I was teaching spin. I was teaching Pilates in Abu Dhabi. I just need my hand in several different pots. But I ended up starting an Instagram account called Dating in Dubai. Where I was documenting, I was documenting my experience as a Western expat. The initial, idea behind it was what was dating like in Dubai in lockdown and post-lockdown. So I talked a lot about Zoom dates, did a lot of dating app stuff because that was the only way you could really meet somebody. And I was recording my experiences. And I think that Dubai is the best place on the planet to date. I do. Ooh, personal experience.
That's very I met my husband here, so I can say, we met in Dubai because everyone's shocked. Everyone's like, how did you do it? I'm just well.
You just did it.
Yeah, I go, it just found me kind of thing. Yeah.
Correct. So, but what I learned from that account was that people actually hated dating in Dubai, both men and women. And I was a little shocked because the most amazing, ambitious, driven, interesting people I had ever met have been living in the city. So I kind of I know I spoke to you about this earlier, but I had that account. And this was when school started back up again. I was leading a staff of 55 here in Dubai. And the school that I was working for at the time found out about it and let me go in 24 hours. They were like, this account doesn't match the ethos of our school. And in my head initially, I was upset because obviously when you've been in a career for close to a decade, right, 10 years, like that becomes your identity. And you're kind of like, what am I going to do now? But because of the circumstances, I was still on visa, I was still salaried, I got a payout. But it gave me that chunk of time of like 4 to 5 months to be like, what am I going to do? What did I do first? I partied for a full month.
Okay. As you do in Dubai is like the best for that too, right?
Literally, I was like, I don't have to go to work and I'm getting paid. What? I'm going to party. And then I screwed my head on straight again. And then I was like, you know what? I love helping people. I have always been a connector, a natural connector my entire life. I just kind of like brainstormed and sat down with the idea of what could I do with dating in Dubai, because that was the name of the account. And then just kind of came to my head where I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a matchmaking agency. And at first the thought was that I was going to be a dating manager, because at that point in time in 21, everyone was on dating apps, right? Because that was kind of like the only way to meet somebody.
To meet people, yeah, that's right.
At that point in time. So I said I wanted to help people organize their dating life, kind of like outsourcing your love life. And then it just evolved into a matchmaking agency. I didn't go to matchmaking school or anything like that. I just thought in my head, poof, what would I want if I hired a matchmaker? And then...
Is there a matchmaking school?
There is. Okay. Yes. So our agency is a certified matchmaking company. But yeah.
What are qualifications for that? Just super randomly.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I don't want to joke on anybody, but yeah, I think it's easy to obtain. So, but I think you either have a natural knack for it or you don't. And the secret sauce to matchmaking, in all honesty, is network. Who is in your network? What kind of reach do you have? How far does your little spider web weave? And yeah, that's it.
And your first matchmaking, you told me the first time you charged was 10,000 dirham. Was it for 3 dates? Is that correct?
That was in October 2021. First client ever. I basically, I was, okay, that's a package I think would make sense. So 10,000 dirham for 3 first dates. I also would help them through the whole coaching process of, relationships and things like that. And then, gosh, I fast forward to now, and
where are we at?
You cannot get an appointment with me for less than 100,000 US.
Wow.
But there's a demand for it. The success that we have is incredible. The list of clients that we have, I was reflecting on it actually just the other day. Every month I actually take that time to do so. And I was listing out the clients that we had this year and the amount of success that we had found for them. And my heart was so full. And obviously I can't talk about who they are because they buy our confidence and the privacy. But I just think about that and I'm like, I can't imagine that I started this business 3 years ago and this is the level that we've reached in such a short amount of time. So...
Can we talk about the dating scene?
Yes. I love it, but I know what other people say.
No, I don't know. So I have, it's funny because the single guys would say it's amazing and then the single girls will say it's not.
You think that. It's opposite.
It's the opposite. Oh, I got it wrong.
Well, okay. It depends on who you speak to. Now, you have to think about it this way as well. The kind of attitude or mindset that you take on doing anything is going to be your result. If you're going to go into dating with a positive mindset, hey, I could meet an amazing person, you could have the opportunity to meet an amazing person. You go into the mindset, oh my gosh, all the girls here are hookers and you're probably most likely going to meet hookers and gold diggers, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, what I think about is this. A lot of the men that I speak to, they are struggling to find women of substance. Women who are actually truly looking for a real connection. I think that what happens here is that you get stuck in this cycle of maybe dating the same person because you keep doing the same things. You're in DIFC, going to the same bars.
That's so true. I was doing it in the fitness scene for a while. I was just it was rinse and repeat.
Yes.
For years. And it was the same fitness people. And actually my husband called me out on it. Mm-hmm. He's fit, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I was in a complete bodybuilding scene.
Okay.
And he's like, Where did that get you? He's
Well,
like,
it's that saying,
open
right?
your mind. Yeah.
What is it? It's like true madness if you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So you need to switch up your scene, right? And when I did start that account originally, dating in Dubai, I was like, I'm meeting the most amazing people in the city that are driven and interesting. But it was because I was doing different things, right? I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to this talk about law. Why not? Just because I wanted to. Oh, I'm going to go to this Abu Dhabi Finance Week. Why? I want to learn more about finance. Why not? Hey, I'm going to go to this spin class. Okay, yeah, just to meet different people. And also what I think too is like humans are creatures of habit. Where let's say you live on the Palm, you're never going to leave the Palm.
I know.
You have to like physically pick yourself up. Like I live downtown. I never leave downtown now, but I have a partner. So like that's probably why. But like you literally have to pick yourself up and just go different places, do different things and see the city and meet different people. And then that also just think about it's a numbers game. It widens your options. Mm-hmm. So I think that if you really truly are focused on finding a partner, you will find one. You just need to maybe switch up your scene, switch up the way you're going about things. Tell all of your friends that you're single. Tell every single one of your friends that you're single, even people that you work with. Hey, you know what? I think I'm really ready for a relationship. This is the type of partner I'm looking for. Let me know if you know anybody.
I love how you're so open-minded. People, I think they shy away from saying that they're single, feeling like there's a negative connotation, especially if you're older and you're single.
Possibly. But I think that people maybe have this, maybe they're like a bit ageist or maybe they box themselves in and think like, oh, I'm above 40, I'm never going to find somebody. When did you ever think love was running out? Connection doesn't run out. And also, right, if you're somebody who maybe has the thought of, oh, well, all of the good people are married. Guess what?
Everyone says that, right?
Well, good people are married, yes, but bad people are married too. But anyway, no, but what I will say too is that we do, and maybe unfortunately, live in a day and age where a lot of divorce happens too. I was laughing with a girlfriend, so we are exactly the same age. She's 36. She lives in the States. And she hasn't been married yet. And she said, she goes, it's funny because we're getting a whole new wave of people on the dating market coming in because now they're all getting divorced.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend yesterday literally about that. I go, you're getting, like, either you're single when you're older or you're divorced when you're older. Yeah. So it's like, don't feel like you've missed out on anything specifically.
That's the thing. But if you do have that thought playing in your head, you need to get that thought out of your head. Because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like with anything, right? Like if you're seeking a job, oh, I'm never going to get a job, the market's saturated. If you have that negative thought in your brain, it's probably going to be harder for you to find a job. Just be open, say yes, let people surprise you. That's what I tell everybody who's dating. Let people surprise you.
I want to talk about chivalry.
Oh, it's not dead.
Okay, you knew where I was going. So a man should pay for the bill. Like, how far did we go? Was it split? Did women? Yeah, right. It's so basically asked.
I've only had one man try me, and I was like,
yeah, he split the bill.
Like the New York came out so quick. I was like, excuse me?
I always offer, right? I just never thought
do not. Okay.
It's
Can I
polite,
say this?
right? It's polite.
As a woman, do not offer because you know what you're going to do. If your expectation is that he pays on the first date and you're offering, you're only going to get let down because he's probably going to say, oh, okay, she's offering. I should be kind and nice and let her pay.
I thought it was the other way around. Men should be, like, I'd want them to go, no, majority did. But there was one guy who was a British guy.
Them. Well,
I was like, that was weird.
I'm going to say this, and this is what I see a lot in dating in the 2020s, is people are testing the other person. Instead of, why not give them the cheat codes so they can have success and win? Why are you putting them in a position where they can fail? You're only going to upset yourself if they don't meet that expectation.
That's so true.
Instead, be so clear with your expectations, your standards, your boundaries. Therefore, the other person can either meet them or not. Why are you testing them so that they fail? Give them the cheat codes and see if they meet them.
I want to get into the checklist, right?
Yeah. Throw it out.
So there's a checklist that you probably hear quite common.
Yeah.
I mean, with a guy, right? You probably have a tall, dark, handsome, maybe. That might be a common thing, or coloured eye. I'd like to, what is usually the checklist that a man goes for and vice versa?
So men, actually, we've kind of broken this down as a matchmaking team. Most men are looking for 3 things.
Okay.
And we call it the 3 Fs. And one of our matchmakers, Katie Clark, she coined this term. So I'm going to give her some credit on this. Fun, fit, and feminine. Those are usually, that's like the theme that what our clients are looking for. We also hear a lot from our clients, especially me. I hear that, especially here in Dubai, there's talking about meeting a woman who is down to earth, who's grounded, and is nurturing, has those nurturing qualities and tendencies. So that's what men are usually looking for.
Okay. No, that's super interesting. I mean, I love how you did the 3 Fs.
Yes, easy to remember.
Well, I was thinking something else with the F at where we went.
We don't get into that.
But that feminine energy is important, right?
Super important, especially for the clients that seek a service like ours. Mm-hmm.
You see, you get a lot of clients that are Muslims, and they openly say, "I'm looking for my second wife, fourth wife." Do you have to vet? Do you have to understand the profile of the first wife to make sure it's not the same? Like, how does that?
Yeah,
I know that sounds so.
It's not as complicated as it sounds on paper. Okay. Firstly, what we do is make sure that everybody involved is on the same page. And I think that when you're going into that type of marriage, right, you really need to understand what the requirements are, what are the parameters, and especially if you're going into it as a second, third, or fourth wife, I think like the way we've worked with it is that we need to be extremely detailed and upfront with what that would entail. And I think that when you have those specifics already laid out, it's easier to find that person for them. You know what I'm going to tell you? It's much easier to find somebody a second, third, or fourth wife than a first wife. It needs to be perfect. And I think that also when in my personal experience as a matchmaker, finding that second, third, or fourth wife, they kind of know what's quote unquote already missing or what they really like. So it's not somebody who's like doesn't know what they want. So for me, it's actually easiest when I have a client who knows exactly what they want. That's much easier for me. I get to be able to find that, right? And also when somebody or a woman is stepping into that position, second, third, or fourth wife, they kind of understand, okay, I need to know the outline of what this is going to look like. And when they kind of pre-agree to it and everybody's on the same page, it makes it easier to make a match, actually.
So you've got the database.
Yeah.
Do you go and you send out, hey, this guy's looking, or do you actually go and...
No. Well, most of our clients...
RFP.
That's what you guys do? Well, think about it, right? An executive search is very, very similar to matchmaking, right? You're finding that right fit for company, person, and we're doing that for people, right? But think about it too. I mean, well, it's interesting, right? When I think most of our clients have the idea in the head, like when they come to us, is that it is an executive search for the most important position in their life, their spouse. Right. And when people gasp or see the kind of money that our clients are paying for matchmaking, my response is always, divorce is a lot more expensive than the price tag that we put on matchmaking.
That's so true.
So finding that right partner is actually super important and should be the largest investment you make in your life.
And the females, I assume, also give you feedback on the dates?
Oh, I love
Can we
the feedback.
talk about the feedback?
Is my favorite part about this process.
I'm here to hear all about the feedback.
Yes. I mean, what's amazing about matchmaking is that you can never tell the true compatibility of two people from two flat profiles. You will never be able to tell it. So they have to meet in person, right? So we gather the feedback after your in-person date to see, okay, should you move on to a second date? What I will say in this day and age is that people cut other people off way too soon.
Yeah. And
what you need to remember is that on a first date, not necessarily is everybody comfortable with meeting a complete stranger. How can you have quote unquote chemistry with somebody you've never met before? You need to let that build. Like that takes time. And especially when I think about it from the female side is that women fall in love between our ears, right? We need that emotional, intellectual connection in order to feel comfortable with somebody. And it is very rare that you have that with somebody on a first encounter. Where I do hear a lot from clients and from the women that go on dates is that, oh, well, there wasn't a spark, there wasn't any chemistry, so I don't want to see them again. Chill. Give them another chance. Let the other person surprise you. You might have been completely so nervous on that date, right? On the first date, because maybe that's just not your comfort zone. Can I also tell you, right? Especially women who go on dates with men and maybe cut them off like after the first date. I'm like, can also remind you, you can always upgrade the man. You can upgrade his clothes. You can upgrade his style.
Yeah. You got a good base, though. You got a good base.
But if you have a good base, he's a good person, he's honest, your alignment is there, give them another chance. What we do for our clients, right? We have professional photographers. We have stylists. I've sent clients to rapid transformational therapy. I've sent clients to the dentist. I've sent them to go get a spray tan. I'm like, you're way too white. You need to get a spray tan.
Holiday vibes. We love a holiday vibe.
Yeah. So what our clients like about our service as well is that we care about setting them up for success. And we do collect feedback on both ends, and dependent on the type of client, we do give them that feedback. Hey, you know what would be great? Remember that when you're on a first date, it's a ping pong match. Conversation should flow, but it should feel 50-50. Why are you talking 80% of the time?
Oh yeah, I mean, you get nervous. You get nervous, right? You're on like an interview, kind of.
Thing. Yeah, and that's another reason why I say don't cut somebody off right after the first date, because also, you don't know how nervous they were or anything like that, and some people need some time to warm up, and that's okay. So to give them that second chance, I mean, unless they did something completely horrible.
What's horrible? What's the worst feedback you've got?
Somebody talking about drugs on a first date.
To take them with them, or to say how much they love them?
Oh, I just got back from this city, blah, blah, blah. And then the other person was like, yeah, I don't think that this person is for me because of their level of interest in XYZ, which I get that. If that doesn't match your lifestyle, of course, then don't continue. But if there isn't any crazy thing that happened, go on and what's the worst that can happen? You lose another hour and a half of your day, you're fine. You'll be okay. This is the way a lot of the clients that come to us think is about getting their ducks in a row. Okay, first duck, career, money, whatever that number is for them. Next duck, maybe they bought a house, they bought a car, right? Next duck, oh shoot, I need a wife and a family. And when a man is ready for a relationship, he's ready for a relationship. He's serious, but then you know what that also says is, tells a lot about his mindset. I am ready for this. And a lot of our clients, you would think if they're paying that kind of price tag that they want to go on 100 dates. Mm-hmm. They don't. They are actually so reserved and so incredibly specific when choosing who they go on in-person dates with. That they can see a bunch of profiles, but the clients that are actually super serious about the process are the ones that take their time and choose, okay, actually, you know what? Not this because of that, not this because of that. I want to go on a date with this person because of this. And then when they go, most of the time, it only takes 2 or 3 dates, and then they're in a relationship with them.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. You know what happens to us a lot, too, because we have so many women in our database. When we do reach out, I would say this happens less to me, but a lot more to our matchmakers that are in the U.S. When we do reach out to a woman and their immediate reaction is, oh, he's not my type. We, as matchmakers, are always like, you can never tell what your type is or what type of connection you're going to have with somebody until you go on an actual date with them. And we always try to kind of get the message across that it's extremely rare when we reach out to you as a matchmaker with over 50, now almost 60,000 women in our database globally to go on a date with one of our fantastic clients. These guys are serious. They've made an investment in their future and in what they're actually looking for. If we're reaching out to you, what's the quote-unquote worst that can happen? Go. Have a great time with somebody. I always say that dating is such an amazing experience. Yes, it should be fun, but it's an amazing experience because you're learning about yourself. You're learning about what do you like. You're learning about what kind of a partner do you want? What kind of a future do you want with somebody? So why wouldn't you say yes to go on a date with a great guy who's serious? I like to do a lunch date. I think a lunch date is great.
It's like daytime. You don't feel pressure for anything. Yeah.
You also get to see the person in like the sober light of day. Like, okay. And let's say it's not going well, right? You can be, oh, well, I'm dipping off to work or whatever. Yeah. But let's say it's going amazing and you do have to dip off to work. Guess what? You leave them wanting more. I think a lunch date is perfect. A lot of our clients do dinner dates as a first date initially. But I like lunch dates. I think that's a great way to meet somebody. And if you are serious, right, you get to have like a real conversation about something without maybe the influence of alcohol.
Unless you're a day drinker. Is that a red flag? Is a day drinker a red flag?
Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Whatever you want. Have fun. Enjoy the day.
Yeah. If you need a little liquid courage, like some people do, you know? So it is what it is. Like we've had somebody who, gosh, he turned 60 and his girlfriend's 28. And she's just very mature and he's just very young at heart and they both had the same alignment. He didn't want to have any more kids. She didn't want to have kids of her own. She was happy to be a stepmother. They're married. They're happy.
And what about older women? Like, do men?
I love older women with younger men. I think it works. Just does.
Actually, my husband, it just happened.
Okay.
My husband is a couple years younger. Yeah. But he lied about his age when we
first. They do that in the beginning.
Because he thought I would be turned off.
Correct.
Yeah, he was right. So by the third day, he's like, I need to tell you something. I said, okay, what? He's like, you know, when you asked about my age, I was like, oh my God, you're 21? No. Yeah. He's like, oh, I go, but you told me you were 35. He goes, no, I didn't. You suggested 35 and you said, are you 35? And I didn't answer. Yeah. I just let you kind of go with it. So you kind of gave yourself the impression that I was 35. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, so Robyn, not only I have the matchmaking agency that's very hands-on, personalized service. When I launched my app, Maxion, right? That's for a different type of clientele and just in Dubai. We don't show age on Maxion.
Ah, interesting.
Because age, height, and nationality are not factors of compatibility. This is in our experience as matchmakers for over 12 years. And you're so right. If you saw on paper what his age was, let's say you saw him on a dating app, you would have swiped left.
100%. Like, nope. 100%. And he knew it. And he didn't tell me until it was the second date. Mm-hmm. He was nervously telling me. But then I sat with myself. I'm like, you're right.
But what does that have to do with anything?
Is he
an amazing partner?
He's an amazing person.
Yeah.
So I was like, why was I so in my head thinking that the mature ones are older?
No, they're not. Trust me. And I'm also going to tell you, how do I say this nicely? Okay, yes. Age has no correlation to level of maturity, level of readiness to be a great partner or teammate in life. And actually, there are studies out there that if you meet a man who is above the age of 40, who is still unmarried and does not have children, his level of maturity and I guess probability of getting married quite soon is much less than somebody who maybe has already been married or who is in their 20s and 30s.
Well, that's interesting.
It is. And also, like, when you are single for a long time, you do become set in your ways and you kind of are like, well, I can do this on my own.
Yeah, life's great. Why do I want a headache of someone disrupting my own life? Mm-hmm. So why do people want partners?
What do you mean? Everybody needs a partner. We're humans.
Yeah, okay. So the connection thing I saw you talk about, that's where I'm going towards.
Yeah. My gosh. I mean, we forget in this day and age, especially when we were speaking on earlier about access to people and having this notion that the grass is greener on the other side when in actuality, like, we're humans and humans need humans and monogamy is something that is fulfilling for people and helps you grow and helps you create and build the life that you want if you're interested in having a partner of that kind.
It just makes your life better.
That's interesting you say that because I actually relate that to this story. We were in our early 20s. This is when I was living in New York. And one of our girlfriends she went on a solo trip to Paris, and me and our other girlfriends were talking. We're like, the whole point of traveling is to share that experience with somebody. It's like to be on the streets of Paris, eating a baguette together and just like dumping butter on it and like having that experience. And it's similar to life, right? You want to be able to witness and create memories with somebody that you cherish. Like that is the whole point of life. I mean, that's what I see, and maybe that's why I'm a matchmaker. But yeah.
And then now with the new app that you've launched, you're taking all your learnings to the masses. Is
Yes.
that how that's going? Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your app that's newly launched, right?
It's launched. Oh my gosh, we've been on the market in Dubai now for 9 months. And what I love about it is that it's basically having an elite matchmaker in your pocket. It's all the things that we do, but now tech enabled. So we vet the people who come onto our platform. The platform is for people who are accomplished professionals, successful individuals. So, it's a higher caliber of people. And because it's not a freemium app, it is paid. You get a certain level of a person on the app. So not only is it that, but there's no swiping. Because in this day and age, people have become disposable because they live inside your phone. And for example, if you would have seen your husband on a dating app and you would have seen age 31 or whatever, I'm making this up, you would have been like left, left, left. Where this...
No, it's true. It's true.
It's so true. Where the app, Maxion, what we try to do is like, we want to facilitate that in-person connection. So let's say you see somebody and you get to choose yes, maybe, pass. But once it's a yes, yes on both sides, so a mutual connection, our tech plans, books, and basically confirms the date for you. So it's all about meeting in person. And we cut out all that wasted time and energy that happens in the chat box where you never even get on a date with somebody.
So there's no chatting.
No chatting.
I love that. No age, no chatting, no swiping.
No swiping. And then once the date is confirmed, you can share your number with that person if you want to, or you can trust the matchmaking process. Go on the date, give us feedback. And right now we're implementing all of these new AI enhancements where basically you'd be able to outsource your entire social life to us, where we can help book your salon. Hey, you need to get a blow dry before your date? Let us help you with that.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, what do you want to wear to your date? 7 p.m. Zuma. We can help you with that. All of this kind of lifting or doing all the heavy lifting and dating for you is what we plan to do in the future. So it's exciting. It's definitely a fun time to date. I think that if you really go into it with a positive mindset, you can't think, oh, there are no good guys out there, or the opposite, there are no good women out there, because then you're just shutting yourself off and maybe closing your eyes to somebody who could be incredibly amazing for you.
And that's an amazing advice to end on. Thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, that was super interesting. Lots of takeaways for everyone.
Good, I hope so.
Thank you for watching Chat GRG. Please be sure to follow our socials on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and be subscribing to our channels.